Thanks, Deputy Catherine Connolly.
Gur míle mágad a Cathaoirligh a sucht an deis canse seo an ábhar seo atá thar bheith tábhachtach ach tá gá pránach le réiteach aáil ach ní hí seo an réiteach seo corrigéile machchas sama agus tá sé simúil go bhfuil an rialtas agus an bhblin seo caite an rialtas freisin tucha do lán an Amadán 2015 Seol si de maith na billy lán an Abadan an céad lá de mí Eibrown agus a rís maidir leis an dreachtaí seo an céad lá atá I gceist de rís lán an Abadan céad lá de mí Eibrown chun seirbhísí a chuir cáil feadh ní mísa. Chair Cathaoirligh, thank you for this opportunity, and I think the subject is extremely important. I come from Galway City and have a background of being on a local authority for 17 years, and I'm acutely aware of water, the importance of water services, a cryptosporidium crisis, a polluted lake, and as I speak, about approximately 4,000 to 5,000 people in Connemara around Carrow who can't drink their water. So I don't speak from a position of negativity or the radical loony left. I speak as a very pragmatic, practical, radical woman who believes that there are basic services that unite us in solidarity with each other in any civilised society. And water is one of those. So is services for rubbish, as is health and education. And it seems to me that this is a complete pretence and a fudge of an issue, and there are more holes in this apparent solution as there are, unfortunately, in our water system. That's leaking on a daily basis, and the figures we had in Galway was anything up to 40% leakage. And yes, we have to deal with it, but I'm afraid Fianna Fáil have failed. I don't expect Fine Gael to change, and in fact I respect them. They have repeatedly said that water charges are necessary, but Fianna Fáil told the electorate that they were going to vote to get rid of them. And rather than use our time and our new energy and the broad range of opinion in this stall to find a solution and to work together, we're using our energy on draft legislation that's going nowhere, that's going to give a watery birth in 9 months' time. That will be no solution to anything. And with extensions in there for further extensions if we need it, depending on the political situation. And all of the time the metering situation continues against people. We don't want it. We want to conserve water, and actually I take exception to the word the polluter pays, and I'm tired of that terminology. I am not a polluter. Most people aren't polluters. We're users of a basic service that we can't live without. That's a user. And to say that we need to pay we need to be punished in order to save is ridiculous in the extreme. It doesn't tie in with any research in psychology. It doesn't tie in with marketing. You bring people on board. Most of us want to be brought on board and work because we know we have children. We want to hand on a better environment to our children, and the best way to do that at Cathaoirligh is to bring us all on board. We know it is. Where the education should be going in is with the government and the EU, who continue to look on citizens as polluters, as users of services, rather than as active citizens who want to share in making the world a better place. And if Fianna Fáil were seriously interested in new politics, they would stand with us and say, stop this charade. Have a referendum to ensure that water remains in public ownership, to bring home some confidence to the people. And what really highlights the cynicism of the whole approach is a €100 grant was brought in to help us to conserve. And now you've just scrapped that, which shows really that that was just a bribe at the time, a foolish bribe, because as you see, people aren't easily bribed. And now it's gone, so you don't give a damn really, I take back the word damn, you don't give a care really about whether we conserve or not conserve. And there isn't a word in here about conservation. Not a word, no reward for us, no positive mechanism to keep us on board, no money being available to local authorities to help them. I went on the local authority in 1999 and I left when I was elected, and during that time we absolutely begged, would be the word, for funding from government. We knew exactly what was happening. We had very good staff on the ground who have since been reduced. We had good engineers and good staff, all removed. Over 20% of the local authority in Galway reduced. How could they carry out any sort of job on water? And even within that, they gave us an excellent service. And when there was a problem and we rang them, they came out immediately. And now we have a situation where we ring a call service in Cork and that we go around in circles. And again, I am not in the area of demonising Irish Water. In fact, I think the demonisation of the CEO of Irish Water, the former city manager of Galway, was and is unacceptable. And I've had my rows with that man, but it's totally unacceptable to demonise Irish Water and their staff when they were set up to do and to carry out a service. And then when it was exposed through very good journalism what was happening, there were heads on a platter, rather than the government taking stock and saying, really, we should look at this, this is not working. Without a doubt, Irish Water was set up with the view to privatising the service. And that privatisation has been stopped in its track for the moment. But I'm not foolish enough to think that we've stopped the tide. We've done nothing of the sort. We've simply tried to hold the system to account on behalf of the people who put us in here. And we promised the people that elected us that we would strive and do our best to get a water service as a human right, that is what they deserve and we deserve, paid for out of taxes. And that's what I'm in the same difficulty with this. While I welcome the suspension of the water charges, I believe that it's the wrong way to go, in the sense that we should be stopping it completely, and we should work together to have a service that brings us all on board from our taxation. And many, many different ways have been outlined for increasing that taxation level. But it's an insult to the people to say they don't want to pay for services. Yes, they do. They want to pay for it out of their taxes, and it's our role as a government to increase and to broaden out the taxes so we can provide basic services. Dividing one citizen from another, as we've done with health, private medicine and public medicine. Dividing one citizen from another in terms of bin charges, those who can afford to pay and those who can't. And repeating it with water is simply shocking. And you've got caught up with an EU mantra that's foolish in the extreme. And where we at the lowest level have to comply with rules, but those at the highest levels don't. And not alone that, but you're deliberately misinterpreting a water directive when it could be interpreted in a positive way to conserve water. And how do we do that? And how do we bring people on board? I think, and particularly Fianna Fáil, I think you have wasted a golden opportunity, and it shows up the cynicism of the new politics that you've come in here day after day since February to talk about. Thank you very much, Cahirley.
Thank you.